doing my little connection to Facebook, and I know we're live already, so this is the fun part. Okay. Welcome everybody to my in-between week chat, and I'm very honored today to have my esteemed colleague and friend Robin Nielsen here with me today. I'm Kirstin Nussgruber from Kirstin'sCancerCare.com, and every now and then I offer you an educational nugget just to help you make your own healthful decisions in an area that you may be struggling in. And today we're focusing on natural solutions for hormone balancing. That's something that all of us women struggle with at one part of our lives, but especially us cancer survivors as well. And we'll talk about that as we go along in our chat. So right now, welcome, Robin.
Oh, thanks so much, Kirstin. It's awesome to be here with you.
We're so excited to finally have this. We've been planning this for a couple of weeks and then our schedules didn't coincide. So it's just great to see you here. Now, Robin and I go way back. We first met at a conference that we went to together, and we actually ended up cycling together, getting some exercise in before we had another full day of sitting in lectures again. So I'm super excited to have you here today. So why don't I kick off by actually introducing you formally? And I usually do that by reading from the bios so that people know who they're dealing with. So Robin Nielsen is going to talk about 5 simple secrets to rock your metabolism, energy, and moods. Robin Nielsen is a functional clinical nutritionist and hormone expert with over 15 years of clinical experience. She specializes in hormone balance and helping women grow younger no matter what their age. She is the founder and CEO of Juvenescence, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, you did it, girl.
Yeah. Supporting women in midlife. Yay. And she's also the CEO of Insulite Health, and that can be found at PCOS.com. And that is the world's largest and most comprehensive company supporting women with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, naturally. Robin is a co-creator of a very popular Sexy Younger You conferences and programs, and you're also the creator of the Natural Solutions for PCOS online conference. So a lot of educational opportunities that you offer as well. Robin has interviewed more than 200 of the world's leading healthcare experts on the science to take charge of your own health, heal naturally, and be and stay well. Not to just survive, but to thrive and become the CEO of their own health. I love that. Robin is the past president of the National Association of Women Business Owners, Silicon Valley chapter, and she's also the past president of my trade association, the National Association of Nutrition Professionals. She has been featured on the CBS television program Eye on the Bay, showcasing her life-changing women's retreats. Lots of really great nuggets here that I'm sure you're going to tell us all about as well. And the next part is important and I'm sure plays a very big role in balancing hormones. You are very active in your life. You love to play tennis. I know you like to bike ride because we did that together. You like to surf as well, walking, playing with your 2 pups. We have that in common. I have my other pup upstairs. I hope he doesn't bark.
Yeah.
Singing too. And I know you, way back, you did your own recording as well. I remember that. And of course, cooking and being with your beautiful family and friends. So balance is the key word here in everything in life, not just hormones. But why don't you tell us, Robin, what got you interested in focusing on this particular niche, women in midlife?
Oh, wow. It's so easy. When I was young, I was old. So in my 20s, I had arthritic symptoms in my hands. I had horrible digestive problems. I had brain fog that really kept me from reaching my potential in college. I just couldn't overcome just a really, not being able to comprehend well, just a lot of brain fog. I was super tired all the time. I just had a lot of issues. I had persistent acne on my face, my chest, and my back for decades. And I could gain 5 pounds in a day, no problem. right? For no reason. Like I just couldn't figure it out. And so I just felt really old, in my 20s. And so, when I figured this all out and I hit 50, I was like, woo! I'm like, I feel better than I ever have. And so yeah, my story is a really easy one. Why, I just support women no matter what their age, to feel fabulous. You can. And I know, like with, the PCOS demographic, it's the same thing. You feel really old when you're in your 20s, and it's the exact same symptoms as postmenopause. Exact same, right? Your hair falls out, you get facial hair, you get acne, you're extremely tired, you start growing that, spare tire around your middle. I mean, it's all the same stuff. So it's just, our metabolisms are just out of balance, and we have to, learn how to fire them up again.
Learn to regain that balance. So looking at you today, I'm assuming that you very much got that balance down right. And why don't you, for those of us who don't know what PCOS is, because that's what you're specializing in, why don't you explain exactly what that is, and why someone as young as in their 20s can actually get that?
Sure, absolutely. So I actually specialize in just women's hormonal balance issues. PCOS is one of them, and it stands for polycystic ovary syndrome, and it's a condition, right? It's not a disease. It's really the most popularly diagnosed condition today. At least 1 in 5 women have it. But here's the deal. It's a big bucket. It's a big bucket of symptoms. And if you have any of them, you get placed in that bucket, and there's no medical solution. Now, some docs would argue with me that metformin is a solution and hormonal birth control is a solution, but they are not solutions, right? They are not getting to the underlying root cause. So some symptoms of PCOS or polycystic ovary syndrome would be all that I mentioned already. It would be persistent acne, not just those few teenage years, but persistent adult acne, hair loss, facial hair, irregular menstrual cycles are a big one. Infertility, it's the leading cause of infertility, so that's a really big deal, right? Weight gain, because a lot of times I think over 70 to 80% of the women who are exhibiting these symptoms actually have insulin resistance. So that's a huge driver. And that's why, in your teens and postmenopause, insulin resistance can be a big issue. And so that's a big deal. So basically it's an androgenic condition. So it's high levels of androgens, and they're getting metabolized down a more potent pathway, which is called the 5-alpha reductase, or the DHT pathway, which actually causes things like hair loss, facial hair, acne, all of that. And then, high levels of insulin actually drive the higher levels of androgens. And so what's really interesting about it, though, is that we think it's an estrogen dominant condition, when really estrogen may be dominant, but it's actually a low estrogen, low progesterone condition. So basically, we're too stressed out too much of the time.
And also, we're not looking at the real root causes. We're not understanding what could be the underlying patterns here. That's what I love about the functional approach, functional nutrition approach too. And my niche, my passion is to care for the cancer survivor community, or even cancer patient community. So of course there, we have the hormones as a big flag as well, especially those of us who have hormone receptor positive cancers. And so post-treatment, when we're trying to prevent recurrence, we're trying to live that kind of new norm, often with ongoing treatments, hormone treatments, that suppresses, for example, estrogen, if estrogen was shown to be a fuel for our cancer cells. But then we suffer side effects, of course. And I know that you also are supporting cancer patients who are struggling with this post-cancer experience. So tell us a little bit about what you do and what kind of angle you take, or what for you are the most important things to consider here for those of us who have these issues and can't really do anything about it. And that's not what we are trying to do anyway is increase your hormone. We're trying to suppress the hormones.
Right. Right. So that's a big problem, right? Because we need our hormones. We need our hormones. We need our hormones to be in balance, right? Oh my gosh, estrogen is so important for so many things. You know, it's important for cognition. It's important for bone health. It's important for elasticity of the skin, right? So many things. So again, you know, you and I kind of speak the same language. If you don't really figure out those underlying root causes, you can never feel well. And I am not about surviving. I think surviving sucks. I am about thriving. And I say that because I think that surviving is a good thing. Like when you get over that hump, right? But then if you don't thrive, life is not so great. You know, I mean, I learned at a very early age that I hated being sick because it's such a lonely journey. Like people can feel sorry for you. And then I would just get mad. I'm like, I don't care about your pity. Like, I just want to be out there doing stuff. You know, I have severe FOMO, I guess.
Yeah.
So the really big thing is to look at, instead of completely suppressing, you know, your hormones, because hormones are they're our communication system, right? That is what communicates with every cell in the body are your hormones. So instead of blocking them, you've got to figure out what those hormone deal breakers are. Like, why did this happen in the first place? And one of the things with the hormone receptor positive cancer, how do you say it, is that you have got to look at your estrogens. Are you metabolizing them down the healthy pathway? Are you making too much 4-OH, right? And it's really easy to change. I mean, I can tell you, you know, a lot of client stories about how, you know, we just did a comprehensive panel, right? And you can see how you're metabolizing your hormones, and then you take specific nutrients. I mean, I am someone who could get in trouble that way. I tend to make too much 4-OH. I metabolize too much down the 4-OH pathway. But I know that, and so then I prevent against it because, you know, I have some gut issues. So then I take some nutrients that help to make more 2-OH and make more 16-OH and block that 4-OH pathway. And then you have to look at methylation. And once you do that, once you support your methylation, support better hormone, estrogen metabolism, oh my gosh, you feel so much better. Your life is great. You protect yourself. And you also have to look at melatonin levels. Those are so critical, you know, when it comes to being very cancer protective. A lot of times, you know, women with breast cancer and other cancers have low melatonin levels. I think that you could do testing across the board and see that. You know, low vitamin D levels. I call them the hormone deal breakers, right? Those things that really wreck your hormonal balance, which makes you much more susceptible to cancer, diabetes, obesity, you know, all the yucky symptoms of PCOS, high blood pressure. I mean, cancer is just one thing that can happen, but so many things can happen. And, you know, when people say, oh, I just got cancer or I just got diabetes, they've been working on that for 20 years, you know, potentially long time. So it's not
the imbalances started quite a while ago. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's trying to address the root cause. Of course, it's a bit tricky when it comes to cancers, trying to really get to the root cause for your own. But still, you know, when we have that, you know, when they're hormonally driven, we have at least a very specific guideline, and then need to look at that in a specific way. And I encourage my patients to do that too, is understand how you are breaking down your hormones, to understand where you are at, which kind of pattern are you following, which pathway are you following. But for someone now who is suffering from the side effects of hormone therapy, is there hope? So do you find when you're supporting your own patients that they can find relief with certain lifestyle nutritional changes, which is, to me, it's a given. When I educate my patients on what does it take, what is your role in this, what's your investment in this, rather than being a passive recipient of a treatment and hoping for the best, is, you know, we need to be active participants in our own health path and the development of it. And that involves that we need to change certain habits that we may have, focus on a certain very specific nutritional regimen, practicing certain kind of nutrient therapy as well, in terms of certain supplementation that supports our body, doesn't interact with anything, but supports our body's own metabolism. So what's your experience here with your patients? Can the side effects that we experience on hormone therapy when we are deliberately suppressing hormones that, as you say, play an important role in other areas of our health, in our bone health to joint health, can we be helped?
Well, I always think we can be helped. And you know, I also think that you have to do what really resonates with you. You know, if you're completely stressed out because you're constantly worried, you know, then you have to take the path that really supports you. And I always support that 100%. But, you know, as you start to feel better and feel more confident and, I don't know, you just, you know, get this inner vibrance, then you start to have more confidence to make choices that might support your body a little bit better. And, you know, I have those 5 secrets.
Yes.
And those are fabulous for anybody and everybody. And they're right along the lines of what you've already mentioned, Kirstin. And they are to eat more and exercise less. And I can explain way more about that, but like, that's a foundation. Like, eat more whole, real food, stop dieting, stop over exercising. Those are really big stressors. And that's what I learned to do. And it just made me sicker and sicker and sicker, right? Counting calories, fasting, not eating, over exercising, you know, when you gain a little bit of weight or something, you know, I mean, if your metabolism is sluggish, you're like the hibernating bear, right? You are lacking a ton of resources. So stop stressing your body out and replenish all of those resources. So, you know, the eat more, exercise less is all about getting that metabolism ramped up again. So take a look at all the, you know, we don't realize that our hormones, when they're out of balance, cause joint pain, cause varicose veins, cause hemorrhoids. I mean, we get the hair loss, we get the acne, we get the PMS, we get the hot flashes, we get that those are associated with hormones, but we don't get all these other things that are associated with hormones, the headaches, right? I mean, who would have thought the varicose veins were associated with a hormone imbalance? I had varicose veins that were really, really painful in my 20s.
In your 20s. And you probably were told that runs in your family, right?
I had that for years, right? And so eat more, exercise less. That's my tip number 1. Number 2 is get more stress resilient. And that's all about having the vibrant energy that you need to function on a regular basis. So it's adrenally focused, right? Making sure you have good blood sugar balance, making sure that those little things don't bother you, that you're more optimistic, that you have great energy, a good sex drive, all those things, right? And then number 3 is detox rocks. Because we know now that insulin resistance is really caused mostly by toxins, because they land on our insulin receptor sites and block the ability of insulin to do its job.
Yeah.
You know, we know that's the same thing for cancer, right? Oh my gosh, we have these xenoestrogens that are so potent that are causing these crazy imbalances in our body. So we've got to learn how to support detoxification on a daily basis, not just once in a while when you decide to do a detox program.
Exactly, not just a cleanse or something like that, but on an everyday basis, and not even consider it detox. It's kind of what we do just by living in that way. We are detoxing normally. We are supporting the normal detox channels of the body. Yeah.
Our liver, you know, our digestion. You know, we make most of our serotonin in our gut, right? So if we don't have good digestion, we're kind of screwed.
It affects your mood. It's the basis is always in the gut. Yeah.
And then number 4 is sleep your way to the top. Big wink there of health, right? Sleep your way to the top of your health, because sleep is so amazing for resetting hormone balance. It's incredible, right? And we know if we get a good night's sleep, the inflammation decreases a ton, our cravings go away, we're so much happier. life is good, right?
Mhm.
And then number 5 is the magic of nutrients. So, our macronutrients, the right proteins, fats, and carbs that we're eating to balance our hormones. So not only every meal, but then the timing of our meals. We know that's so incredibly important. And then our micronutrients, our vitamins and our minerals, and how they actually run every single reaction in the body. So we know that with cancer, especially, we know that, that we have too much of some nutrients and not enough of others. And that's driving the cancerous pathways. So yeah, I mean, if we just take a look at those 5 things and kind of identify, why we're the hibernating bear, and try to fix it, why our body's so lacking in resources and what's continuing to stress it out.
Yeah, what's continuously being added to it without maybe we even knowing. Like you mentioned, the xenoestrogen, same thing, is people often don't even realize how in our beauty products, in the foods that we eat, some of the foods that we eat, environmental pollutants we subject ourselves to, that has an estrogenic effect on the body as well. And if we start focusing on that in a very specific way, we are cutting out the constant estrogenic exposures that our body has just become accustomed to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kirstin, one of our close colleagues, she was working with a client, and for some reason she was just really estrogen dominant. And when you're really estrogen dominant, you're really edgy. You don't feel good, right? You can't sleep at night. I mean, all these bad things happen because you're out of balance. And they just could not figure out where the excess estrogen was coming from. Like, her estrogen was off the charts. So finally, our colleague, super smart woman, decided to test her face cream. She sent it to the lab, and that's what was causing her crazy high levels of estrogen. And this was like 10 years ago. So definitely check your body care products, everything, your household cleaning products, what you use in your garden, your body care products, your cosmetics, absolutely everything. That's one of the first things that you have to do.
Lifestyle habits, and understanding though what has an impact, and especially on a continuous basis. I think that's a very, very important point too, especially when we're eating food, when we are putting beauty care products on our bodies on a regular basis, things add up, things build up, and toxins build up over time. It adds to this toxic burden, and that can have an effect on the hormones. So it goes, I think, with every kind of natural hormone balancing protocol that we are following, we need to take that into consideration all the time. Yeah,
absolutely.
So some very useful tips. I love your 5 secrets there. They make so much sense, and it's something that we can remind ourselves to do. It's not that difficult, those 5 particular areas, to focus on those, and we can start with baby steps. So if people would like to educate themselves more, find out more about how to potentially work with you or interact with you, how can they find you?
So you can find me a few places, PCOS.com, obviously, and togrowyoung.com also is another website. And then just for a super short period of time here, I'm offering an initial hormone assessment, a one-on-one conversation, a value of over $300 with me, to help you plan out sort of what's going on with you, kind of learn what your health challenges are, learn what your goals are, figure out kind of what's in the way of you reaching your goals, and then help you figure out how to really rock your health this year. So, I am all about becoming the CEO of your own health. I think it's absolutely critical that you learn how to take care of yourself, that you dictate your own health plan. And if that's you, if you really want to rock your health this year, you are tired of surviving, then you can join me at, I think it's PCOS.com, and then it's Health by Design. And you can actually apply for an initial hormone assessment with me, and then go on to make an appointment with me. I think we've opened up a few slots in my calendar. for next week, and then you can join me and we can make a plan for you for 2019. And you're going to post the link, I think, Kirstin.
I will. Yes, I was going to say that. So I have the link and in the comment section below this. So I'm going to be posting that. So have a look there, and people leave comments too. If you've had experiences you want to share, and you know, just comments you want to make on the conversation that you heard here. We obviously can't evaluate any personal conditions, personal health conditions. We can't answer that. That's not how we work. But just your interest. Did you like what you heard? Does it give you some feedback, input? You know, we'd love to hear from you. And of course, I'm going to be posting the link if you do want to get in touch with Robin. And I assure you that you will not regret that. So what remains really is for me to say thank you, Robin, for being here and for sharing your wisdom, your nuggets, and also for thriving, for being the epitome of what it means to move away from feeling sick, too young to be so sick, to actually thriving and being in the throes of life now in midlife, and really being fully active, fully energetic, enjoying it, just because you've made certain lifestyle changes. So it's a great inspiration having you here.
Oh, thank you so much, Kirstin, and same to you. You are such an incredible inspiration. I love your energy. I love how you like figured this all out, and I just love your spirit. Like you are.
Thank you.
So inspirational.
Thank you so much. That you know, it's nice to hear that every now and then. So thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you so much for having me. I'm just really grateful.
So take care for now, Robin, and everyone else. Again, I'm going to post that link just now. It's Kirstin Nussgruber here from Kirstin'sCancerCare.com. Have a look there as well for more inspiration, good blogs, good recipes. Follow me on Facebook as well. I always post every week what I have for dinner, and if I remember, and gives you tips on how to implement all the things we say that you should be focusing on doing. And if you have that question, well, how the hell do I do that? Well, hop onto Facebook or hop onto my website and have a look there. Or again, reach out, contact me. That's what I do. I teach you how to do that. So take care for now and enjoy the rest of this cold day here in New Jersey. But for you, it looks like it's kind of a balmy day. So take care for now. Bye-bye, everyone.